I know during this time, when I was a district manager, my car broke down and I have a car. I know some of us have been there, but as a DM and not having a car, it was really challenging to run a thriving organization without a car. I faced a lot of challenges with receptionists and assistant managers and team being disobedient. Know what I did during this time when we were winning these silver cups? I blamed them. No responsibility. It wasn't my fault. I was looking at reports, comparing myself to other organizations and saying, I'm better than them. When we won that silver cup, I was number 6 branch in the company. I was hot shit. 2008, I was the number 1 new district manager in the company for the summer, number 3 for the year. Matt talks about hubris. Being humble, staying hungry. We did not have that in that organization. We sat down in a boardroom meeting and we started talking about what do we want to create. In Tony Robbins, they talked about Walt Disney, and they gave a great analogy here. They talked about Walt Disney being a visionary. And what was really interesting is when Walt Disney died, he died before they built Disney World in Orlando. And his brother was the one, what was his name? Oh, it was Epcot. It was Epcot. Before he died before they built Epcot, and they interviewed his brother, and his brother was there, like doing everything and setting everything up and cutting the ribbon. And one of the reporters said, you know how reporters can be and try to shoot down dreams. And the reporter said, how do you feel taking all of your brother's credit for all the work that he did, and he never gets a chance to see Epcot open up, and you're taking all the prize for all the work that your brother did, and he doesn't even get a chance to see this? And his brother responded by saying, my brother saw this way before this took place, and that's why you're nothing but just a reporter. What type of vision do you have for yourself and for your organization? Because I know in Blue Chip, we had a vision of taking it to this place, the place where our branches are FSMs and our DOMs can be branches, and our district managers could be division managers. We were looking to get to this place, so we built pillars to build this organization upon. And the way we got there is a lot of the things that Michael Abucky talked about. See, Bruce Goodman talked about action is rewarded. You just heard one of the districts say, it doesn't matter what's on your to-do list. What matters is what you do on your to-do list. It's on a sheet of paper. What's the difference? You got to take action. In this business, action is rewarded. In life, action is rewarding. Moving, doing something is rewarded. Mess up. You've heard Matt say that. If you worked in Matt's pilot office, how many of you guys heard Matt say, mess up big, but only do it once, right? Learn from it, and then don't make the same mistake again. Mess up. Do something. Move forward. Take action. We talk about Kenai. Constant and never-ending improvement. I want to take a moment to talk a little bit about that because I don't really think you get it. And I'm not saying this in a condescending way. I think you're too young. And I don't mean because you're like lack maturity, and I mean it. I guess I am saying that you lack maturity to really understand what constant and never-ending improvement really means. Really means. And myself included, I'm still learning this. But going to this conference with Tony Robbins, it really gave me an idea. We heard a district manager say, people are always watching you. They're at your every move, right? So make sure you're careful of what you do because people are always watching you. In my opinion, constant never-ending improvement is not what you do because people are watching you. It's what you do because you have a genuine appreciation for people that are not watching you. You guys got me? It's what's inside here. It's what can you empathize with that person's story so deeply where you could envision and embody the emotions that they are facing for and with them. And that's why you do what you do. To a deeper level. And that's how you can constantly and never stop improving. Tyler mentioned, how do you want to be remembered? How do you want to be remembered in your organization? How do you want to be remembered this summer? I think about the easiest way that you can get remembered is what you decide to do when nobody's watching you. Because it doesn't matter who remembers you, it's how you remember you. It's where you could look back on this summer and you could look back on this year, and are you going to stand up here and say that you made excuses and you did all the things that I just said I did? I faced all these challenges and I buckled, or I faced them, or whatever it is. Eventually, this present moment is going to be the past. So what are you convincing yourself of now that you're later going to say I used as an excuse? What is the summer about? Tony Robbins talked about they surveyed two groups of people, one that won the lottery and one that was paralyzed. And they surveyed these two groups of people. And 3 years after the incident, they surveyed them again to see which ones were more happy. What do you think the result came at? The study showed that whatever they were before the incident happened is exactly what they were 3 years after the incident took place. So the people that were happy and motivated and excited before they won the lottery or got paralyzed, those are the ones that were after. And the ones that were miserable and complained and were negative and pointing fingers at other people and didn't take responsibility did the exact same thing 3 years after. What this summer is about, let me answer that with this. What's the summer not about? The summer's not about results. It's not about results. It's about applying lessons that you embody over the past several months. The summer's not about results. I read in, I think it's either in my book I'm reading by John C. Maxwell or it was at the conference, but they said at school, they give you the lesson and then you take the test. But in life, you take the test and then you learn the lesson. But you're only able to learn the lesson if you take a moment to reflect and take a step back and really take a chance to reflect and embody those lessons. Because sometimes we don't ever take that breath and we don't take that step back, so we never get a chance to learn those lessons that we actually just learned. If you could reflect daily from a position of gratitude with an open-mindedness and a desire to improve, constant never-ending improvement. What's the summer not about? It's not about answers. The summer's not about answers. It's not about how many answers you have. The summer's about how many questions you ask, how many right questions you ask. The question is not, oh, I know the answer to this. It's no, what's causing this? What can I do to improve this? How can I make this better? Is this my full potential? Am I serving my people the way they deserve to be served? It's all about questions. Am I present with my current staff? Am I present with this task? Is this my very best work? The summer's not about numbers. Numbers are statistics. You know what's going to happen to those numbers? Someone else is going to beat it next year. That's what it's not. That's why it's not about the numbers. Someone else is going to beat that statistic next year. Someone's going to try to beat you. It's about impacting your life and other people's lives. It's about transformations. That's what the summer's about. It's about a legacy. It's about who you become in the process and these other people in the process. You know what's really funny, branches? We overcomplicate your branch summer so much in these meetings. And I'm not condescending anything you just learned over the last 3 days that we sat here. But I'm telling you right now that if you forget everything over the next couple of days, this is what I'm teaching my branches, and I told Matt this. If you forget everything, this is all you really need to do to run a profitable, successful branch. You get your phones to ring. Then you get people to walk through your door. I think this is pretty similar to what Michael Bucky talked about, right? You get the phones ring, get them walk in the door. You share compassion with every person and relate to their story, and then you just teach them everything you know. If you do those 4 things, you will not fail. We're going to do an exercise in a moment to help you understand that. And those things are get the phones to ring, get them to walk through the door, share compassion with their stories, and teach them everything you know. Constant and never-ending improvement. Where you focus, where focus goes, energy goes. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do a quick exercise before I wrap up this meeting and this message. So go ahead and take out a sheet of paper. Take out a sheet of paper. I'd rather you write this than type this. You could do it in your planner if you'd like. I'd rather you write it than type it. I've found for myself that by writing it, it gives me more meaning. For some reason, seeing my sloppy, childish handwriting makes a difference in my mindset and my focus. If you have a journal, you could do this in your journal. So the first question are, what are your fears? It's broad. You could tailor it towards the summer. You could tailor it towards your life. So what are your fears? I'm going to give you guys 60 seconds to write down as fast as you can, as many fears as you possibly can, starting now. So what are your fears? For yourself, for your life, your relationships, your business, your summer, your future, your past. Very tough.
Business related or non-business?
Your choice. Whatever comes to your head. There's not a right or wrong. I had such a hard time answering this question. So if you can't in 60 seconds, it's totally cool. Just do your best if you can. Ten more seconds. As you're finishing that last couple words, would any brave person be brave enough to stand up and share that fear? I like one of the branches. James, why don't you stand up with this one? Well, if you wouldn't mind sharing. Just one. Fear not living up to your potential. Cool. Dallas, here's what I want you to do. You're going to stand up to James. You're going to stand up, okay? And I want you to take your hands and wrap them around his head like this, okay? And you repeat after me. Demons be gone!
Demons be gone!
Good. Good. Good.
Done?
That's it. What are your fears? A lot of the times your fears that you have is I'm not enough, from what Tony Robbins talks about, or that I'm not loved or won't be loved. I'm not enough, or I won't be loved, or I'm not loved. The next question I want you to answer on the same sheet of paper is, what benefit are these bringing you? What benefit are these fears bringing you? 60 seconds. What benefit are these fears bringing you? What benefit are they bringing you? What benefit are you receiving from protecting yourself from these fears? By having these fears, what are they bringing you? To help you, I'll share mine. My fears. They were giving me protection. They were giving me a guard. They were giving me a level of certainty. My fears gave me a lack of responsibility, an ability to say that I wasn't in control. Some of my fears gave me the opportunity to say I was in control and I chose something different. These are what my fears gave for me. My last question for you for this exercise is, why be free of these fears? Why be free of them? Why be free of these fears? Why be free of them? You know, it's really funny listening to, while you guys are finishing up, it's funny listening at the conference with Tony Robbins, and listening to a lot of the things he was saying, because it follows and mimics a lot of the things that we learn at Vector, but it gave me like words behind what I already thought, to give me tools behind what I already knew. And it was interesting because he took this exercise that I'm doing with you right now, and he said, what story are you telling yourself? And it was really interesting because he was talking about where your beliefs come from. Your beliefs come from whatever you tell yourself. So whatever story you're telling yourself, that's your beliefs. And it was really interesting because the story is what creates the emotions. So those fears that you're talking about, or that what you want, or what you want to, what being free of those fears would bring you, whatever story you're telling yourself, either way, guess who's controlling those stories? You guys are, right? So either way, you're in control. So if you chose to write like whatever your fears were, and if you chose to why you want to be free of them, whatever story you choose to listen to is the story that's going to exist in your own mind. Because the story creates your emotions, which influences your thoughts, which controls your language, which determines your actions, which influences your results. So what does your self-talk sound like? Matt pointed out to me that I was using the word unfortunately. And in my book, so once Matt pointed this out, that I used the word unfortunately, I was, as I'm reading my John C. Maxwell and I'm doing some personal growth, I realized that word determines that I'm disappointed with my current state and situation that I'm in. I hear my reps say words like need. I need to make money. That word need, I found out, means that you're coming from a position of desperation. I have to. That means you're coming from a place of not wanting to do something, right? So the language we're using is coming from a subconscious that is causing the words, which are our thoughts, which are controlled by emotional state. Interesting, right? So I started pointing this out to my people about 3 weeks before I went to Tony Robbins, and then hearing them talking about it, I was like, holy shit, this is really cool. Because now it's bringing like a tool, like an arsenal to my toolbox that I already had. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to share that with you. What language are you using? Are you going to work? Are you going to the office? Or are you going to inspire your people? Do you need to make money? Do you have to make money? Or do you get to inspire people to make money and then you'll make money? How are you using your words? So if you can't control the emotions, control your language. Control your physiology that Matt talks about. Control what you're focusing on. Control your state. So my last question that I'm going to have you guys write down before I feel like we can have a breakthrough. My last question before a breakthrough comes is, what has to happen for me to know that I'm a success? For me to know that I am successful? What has to happen for me to know that I am successful? That's the question. What needs to take place for me to know that I'm successful this summer? It is now September 3rd. Summer's over. It's done. This right here shows that I'm a success. Go. Write them down first. We're going to share in just a minute. Write them down. As you're writing, as you're collecting your thoughts here, why is language so powerful? Let me give you an example. While you're writing, situation happens. One person says, why did God do this to me? Oh, I should just die. One person says, wow, what a gift from God. How many lessons I'm going to be able to learn from this opportunity. Same exact experience. Keep writing. Tyler talked about a change. I call it a transformation in Mike Abramowitz. A lot of shit has happened. A lot of shit has happened. A lot of lessons learned. You already know about my mom, best friend, brother from another mother. It's my inspiration. I'm carrying around this book. This is my journal. And the bookmark in my journal, so every time I'm writing is him. You know, this is Nick. The resume I use in my high school is Nick's. It's an inspiration. I didn't want to get off the couch when that happened. I cursed off my alliance. Mike was there when that happened. It's in a really bad state. Keep writing. What has to happen to know you're a success? Girlfriend of 7 years. We were in Cancun talking about getting married and who's going to be at the wedding. 1 week later, she's moving out and moving back up to Jersey. No, it was in October. Didn't want to get off the couch. Actually, my dad tried to convince me to move up to Jersey. He told me he would pay me $1,000 a week to go work and make his company more money. Very close decision, just going. Transformation. Transformation is the word. A breakthrough is the word. My breakthrough did not come from Tony Robbins. I had this 17-day trip planned for months. It is something intrinsic that takes place. It is something internal that takes place. It's how you view the world that starts taking shape. The questions that I needed to start asking myself. Knowing what I really, really wanted. Understanding my CVI to a deeper core. We talk about banker knowing stats. Bullshit. Bankers need a sense of certainty. A sense of certainty is what I learned. And know what I understood? Is I don't want a sense of certainty anymore. That's what's been a crippling belief. That was a limiting belief for me. Because all the things I crave and desire were uncertain. I want to travel. I want to meet new people. I want to change lives, but I didn't know where to go. I didn't know who those people were going to be, and I had no idea what the result of those relationships were going to bring. All things that are uncertain. So CVI is a great tool to find your motivation, but it's not the only one. It's not the only one. So, here's what you're going to do. Here's what you're going to do. I know, I appreciate your time and I value time, but this is where the breakthrough comes from. You guys found your 3 partners that you guys had originally, okay? That I partnered you guys up with before. You're going to find those 3 people. You're going to find those 3 people as fast as freaking possible. As fast as possible. Find those 3 people and take what has to happen for you to succeed this summer. Take those 3 people. Here's the deal. Okay, you guys got your people. I value your time, and I know you guys value mine. I really appreciate it, really. Matt asked me to give 1 talk this entire meeting, and this is it. So everyone else got a chance to do theirs. I thank you for giving me the opportunity to do mine. So here's the deal. So you guys got your partners. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to go ahead, and the person in the middle is going to start sharing what has to happen for them to be a success. Go.
I learned about the right people and different lives, and then see a different person after the summer. I did right.
10 more seconds, and then switch to the person on the left.
It's really simple. Influencing as many people as possible. As I possibly. What time do you think to do that?
I have 2 slides.
What I had,
2 minutes?
Probably closer to 5.
Okay. If I dip out, I'll let you know that this is an amazing wrap up. I had 15 receptions waiting for me. I knew that we would get out. I wasn't expecting 140 minutes late. So
Go ahead and switch if you haven't done so yet. If the last person hasn't started talking, then let that person go ahead and go. As soon as you're done, give your group a 3-way high five, a triangle high five. As soon as you're done, grab your seats as fast as possible. There we go. As fast as possible.
Hey, is your stuff packed up, dude? So,
This is the breakthrough. This is where it comes as you guys are finishing, okay? If you guys are still finishing your goals, finish your what's going to take you to be a success. This is the breakthrough that happened for me. Cool? You guys ready?
Yeah.
If any one of you heard one of your partners have a similar goal to you, say aye.
Aye.
Here's my next question. Did any of you have destructive rules to what defines a success? Who can tell me what I mean by a destructive rule behind success? Janine, what is it?
Like a rule that if you don't meet that, then you're not successful.
A rule that if you don't meet that, then you're not successful. Good. What else? Who else? Any other ideas? A limit? Yeah, I love Michael Jordan's quote. It says, "I never lost the game, I just ran out of time." I think you posted that on my Facebook. Someone did. Love that.
Like a strict number.
A strict number. A destructive rule. If you set yourself as a success, but it's something that you cannot actually control, right? That's something that's out of your control, and that's defining you as a success, whether it's a number or a sale or a person or a place or something that you can't actually control yourself. It's a destructive rule. You guys got me? I want to reach my full potential. Full potential? How the hell do you know what that is? That's a destructive rule. You are setting yourself up for failure before the summer even begins. You guys get me? So I don't have the answer for you, but I do have that question. Do you have destructive rules for your goals and for what you are deciding as a success? And what I learned from Anthony Robbins is having something called an incantation. An incantation is an affirmation with energy behind it. Something that you can say, a chant, a mantra that goes behind everything that you believe. And he had us stand up and had us do our own and make our own. It was really freaking awesome. We're not going to do that today. But if it's okay with you, I'll share mine with you. Is that okay? It's not very sexy, I promise you, but I've been doing it and it freaking is awesome. And you saw a little bit of it already. You saw a little bit of it. My incantation goes like this. Because in the past, about Mike Abramowitz, my people were dollar signs. My people were my paychecks. My people were my bills. And I didn't want that anymore. I never wanted that ever again. I made that decision a few months ago. So I made a decision that I can contribute to others regardless of money. I have potential and I'm capable. I freaking rock! That's an incantation. It's not sexy, but man, that's for me. That's for me. What's going to make me a success is if I just freaking do this every day. If I do this every single day, before I run an event, before I do any task, when I wake up in the morning, that's going to make my summer a success. It's not about a result. So break your controlling patterns. Destroy the destructive rules that you have set for your success. Throw away those limiting beliefs. And set yourself up for an unbelievable opportunity for yourself. And I want to end with this. A lot of the Tony Robbins, you close your eyes and yeah, you have David Scoggins do that and the music plays and all of that. And it's really cool. And I always sat there and I was like, this is freaking stupid. Like, why am I closing my eyes? And what I learned from it is because when your eyes are open, you're focused on the present, you're focused on what's in front of you, it's impossible for you to really reflect about what's already happened. It's impossible for you to really see the future clear because you're distracted about what's in front of you. You guys see that? So if you can not close your eyes and not be distracted by what's in front of you, then you don't need to close your eyes. But if you feel like if I close my eyes, if I cover my eyes and I cover my face and I just can get in the zone, and if I do this, I can think back and I can look forward, then close your eyes. If you can do that without closing your eyes, then don't close your eyes. But that's the purpose behind close your eyes. So I do want you guys to close your eyes. Or you don't have to. If you feel like you don't need to.
I like to sing off key.
I want you to think about who will you be at the end of this summer? Have you met this person before? Was it your peak state prior to this summer? Or are you finding that person right now? Who do you want to be? What does this person look like? How do they stand? What are they wearing? What words do they use? How does their voice sound? How do other people view this person? What did that person go through this summer in order to be created? What led up to this moment? What limiting beliefs were worked through during the summer? How did they go through them? How did they handle them? If your eyes are already open, you're good. If your eyes are closed, you can open them on up. That person that you just viewed yourself as at the end of this summer, I will tell you right now from experience that you could be that person today, in this moment, right now. You don't need to wait until then to be that person. You are already that person right now. Just act that way. Do those actions. Feel those feelings. Speak that language. Sound those sounds. Because you have the potential. And you are capable. And you can contribute to others. Other lives depend on it, and so does yours. And I'll tell you right now, if you went through this exercise and went through this message the right way, and went through this meeting the right way, life will never be the same. Enjoy the summer, guys. Enjoy